Good evening. Welcome to the zoning hearing board of February 15, 2022. Thank you for coming. We do have today only one appeal today. Shouldn't be a busy night. It's appeal number 22-1949. Eric Rudolph. Did I say it right? Okay. Adam, is there anything you need to enter in before we start?
Yes. Briefly, Tony, we have the application as A1. We have site plans. We have two types of site plans. We have looks like an old plot plan. We're going to have that as A2. The regular site plans, which is 2 sheets, as A3. Impervious surface breakdown calculations, and the stormwater management small project volume control, will mark that collectively as A4. That's 2 sheets. And then B1, proof of publication, B2, proof of posting, and B3 is the notice to neighbors.
All right. Thank you, Adam. How's the baby, Adam?
Doing well, thank God.
Yeah,
Thank
good. Adam had a new baby. Well, his wife did. Okay. Now that we have that in, Mr. Rudolph, I see you're adding on an addition for bringing your in-laws, I believe, something like that.
My in-laws.
No, did I hear that?
They call you. Yeah.
All right, first you got to get sworn in, and then you can tell us what you're doing. That's what I read.
Me first. I'm the owner of the home, Eric Andrew Rudolph, 46 West Crown Terrace.
Oh, extended family.
My name is Robert Gallick. I'm the owner and contractor from Improve Right Home Remodeling. Okay, my name is Robert Gallick. I'm the owner and the contractor of Improve Right Home Remodeling.
Last name?
Gallack.
Okay, everybody's sworn in. Who wants to talk? There's a caller. Okay.
Our architect is on the Zoom call.
Okay, so they sworn in, the caller? Can you swear in the caller?
Does he need a, will this
Yep,
mic?
I'm here.
pick up the mic?
No, are they on the phone or
Yeah,
can we get the caller?
Caller, can you hear us? Hit *6, please.
yes, I can
Caller,
hear
can you
you.
hear us?
Yes,
It's a little low.
Sir, I will swear you in. You solemnly swear testimony about to give will be the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Can you say your name and spell your last name for me, please?
Sure. Ralph Finelli, F as in Frank, Inelli.
Oh, we got Ralph. One more time, please.
Sure. Last name is Finelli, F as in Frank, Inelli.
All right, great, thanks.
All right. She's sworn in, or he, whoever it was. Who's
Thank
talking?
you.
Who's going to explain to us what you're doing?
We are
A little closer.
proposing to build a 16 by 20 4-season addition on the back of the home. And we're asking for an additional 3 feet towards the setback on the side. That's
Jim, what's the setback on this side? 15 feet or 10 feet? 15, because you're already 9.
Yeah, the house was built in 1950. At that time, they had an ordinance that allowed for a smaller setback on one side and a larger on the other, provided between the two, it came up to be 25 feet.
Okay.
And that's how they have the 9 and the 16 feet. If they had gone right in line with that 9 feet, they wouldn't be here. It would just be the extension of a nonconformity. But since they're going further towards the property line into that setback, they need a variance.
So the total between the two houses is, you say 25 feet? Is that what you originally said?
Well,
That's
it's
how they used to do it?
existing, it's 9 feet on one side, 16 on the other.
No, 25, okay. All right, so now you want to move in 3 feet for a four-season room, is that what you said? I could barely hear you. Yeah, can you pull that closer to you? There you go.
You
Yeah.
can take it off the.
You can-
if you need.
Yeah, we got to be able to record everything. Yeah. I see you are asking for that for 3 feet. Is there any, I guess there's that deck existing, is this existing deck there? Is that a deck you're going to add on?
There's an existing deck that's going to be joined. There's an existing deck that's going to be adjoining to the room, but it already exists.
Okay,
Tony, if I may, it says proposed, but that's because they used an older site plan
okay,
for when they built the deck. So it says proposed
Thank
because
you.
it's the older plan.
all right. So that's it. Anybody got any questions for these guys?
What is the dimensions of the four-season room?
The outside dimensions will be 16 by 20,
20 wide?
20 wide, 16 projection, correct.
And what's the rationale for just not coming straight down the wall and keeping the 9-foot side setback?
Well, I can let Mr. Ruoff.
Yeah, so we, for the kind of money we're spending, we wanted to get as much use out of the room, especially during COVID. Now my wife works from home, I work from home. It's just easier for that room to serve multi-purpose and still hold a dining room table. We just wanted so if you can picture the end of the house, that's where the table would go. So rather than trying to bump it out, which would then make it directly in the path of the entrance into the room, we can sort of keep it away and then still have room to walk around the table on all sides. And then that would allow us to have the rest of the room to put a small seating area, desks for the kids, and probably even a desk for me and my wife to work in. It was just for ease of utilizing the room better, rather than trying to push the table more into the middle of the room and then only have it being a dining room.
Your neighbor who abuts you right there, what are their names?
I'm sorry?
The house you abut, who you be pushing 3 feet closer.
What's the two?
Yeah, what are the name of that neighbor?
It's only Joy, I think.
Have you knocked up and talked to her about this, or are you just depending on public advertising?
It's public advertising at this point. I mean, they've built they have a small structure that's up against my property. I mean, I haven't said anything to them about it, so I don't know if they want.
Yeah, I was just curious what, if you
Yeah, I
actually.
mean, we're
talked to
friendly,
them
but
about it.
we're friends on the one side where our driveways share. We see them all the time. They're not out and about a whole lot. So no, I have not addressed them yet.
How close is their structure?
So, well, their house is quite a bit further away. So that's, but they built some sort of a shed with a deck, kind of a house that's
one is-
about 6 feet from my property line, maybe less. to
Which
be
one
honest.
is your house there?
If it's easier to point, I'm happy to do it.
Go ahead,
Or would you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I take the
take the mic with you.
Walk and talk. Okay. So this is their house, right?
All right,
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see, but there's like right here, it's like a cedar shingled hut with a bunch of stuff, I don't know, like lights and everything on it.
Is it a storage shed or a wood shed, maybe?
It's kind of like almost like I wouldn't call it a lean-to. Is this old because it's there? Can you see it?
No, but the trees might be obstructing it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. You can't see it, but yeah, it's. I mean, I've measured it. It's way less than 6 feet. I'm not trying to start any issues, but you can see their house is a lot further away, and I don't know why they built something so close to my property line. But it really doesn't bother me. But I thought again, the whole point was to get something just to bump out a little bit further than my air conditioner and the chimney on this side. And I figured there's a bunch of distance. I mean, I want privacy too. So we're not getting rid of any of the trees or anything. So,
they're not aware of what you're doing here.
yeah, I haven't told anybody.
They
yet.
got sent the notice, though, right, Jim? Yeah,
That's correct.
everybody gets sent the notice.
Is there,
Yeah. I mean, we discussed it a few times with the neighbors on the other side because they actually built a pretty large addition, at their property as well.
Right, but they're not
Yeah, that's not on that side. I understand. They're not, I guess, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Bill,
Well, they
is
are
there
quite
anyone in
forward.
public comment? Waiting? Is there anyone in the waiting room?
Is there anybody in the waiting room? Public comment? Nobody?
There is no public comment at this time.
None. Jeez.
Just another question. I see where you have your downspout and then I see where the seepage bed is. Are you planning on running the downspout underground or
We're going to have water management in the backyard.
you'd have water?
I believe that was part of the application.
There's no impervious issues with this?
No.
Yeah, I saw that going into a drainage. What is that? A dry well? Yeah, I saw that on this one. So you're putting a dry well in?
Yes.
Yes. And so there's no impervious issues? Matt, any questions?
I just have concerns about it being so close.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Judy?
Again, that was my first thought was
Yeah.
that close. Excuse me, and I should know better. I had some question about it being as close to the property. I did notice the impervious surface, but I know it's a large property, so I didn't think that, and you didn't ask for a variance, so I didn't think that
There
was
is
an
no
issue.
impervious issue.
But, I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
about
anybody's,
the neighbors.
yeah, and the neighbors aren't involved. And the house is far away. Yeah, that bothered probably everybody on this board. You're awful close.
Is there any reason you just can't shift the whole footprint over the 5 feet or whatever it is, so you maintain that 9-foot setback?
Be 3 feet.
So there's a couple of reasons for me. The first one is there's a window in the kitchen that, I'd kind of like to see onto the deck and then, back, through the yard. And then the second one, it still wouldn't alleviate the issue, in my opinion, and a designer's opinion, with trying to put a dining room table in that room. Because then you're now, instead of maybe, let's call it parallel with that side, where you have, is it an 8-foot opening, right? I guess between where my refrigerator basically ends and then the wall would be, if we cut that out.
Right.
You would now have a table running this way over where you'd only have maybe 30 inches, I guess, to get into that back room. So it would basically block the flow into that room. So that's the other main reasons why I just wanted to keep a dining area and then more of a general, kind of seating area, work area in the room. That's why we wanted it bumped, because if you shift it, it still doesn't get rid of the issue of the opening not being really wide enough for that. So
How
That's-
wide are you trying to make the opening?
how the opening is, you have, the plan, I think the plan's right. Yeah, is it 8 feet maybe?
The existing opening is 8 feet.
Just the 9-foot, 10-inch opening?
So where we look, okay, so I guess here's the opening right. Yeah, that's the end of my kitchen. We need a little bit more for the refrigerator to go about here. So the idea, a table would be, it can't go against the wall. So a table would end up basically being in the middle right here. So even if it's here, you would just kind of have to squeeze in on either side rather than running it this way. Because if you start running a table this way, that becomes the whole purpose of the room. And I don't want it to just be a dining room. I want there, I'm going to be working in there. My kids will be able to do some homework with some seating, and we'll lose a lot of that if we just have a table in the middle of the room. It just
Then
kind
you
of,
can't go to the left 3 feet.
again, if we do that, if we shift the whole thing over, then you're still having the issue of the table blocking your way to get into the room.
There's a window and a door on the left side looking at the drawing.
Yeah, this is a window right
If
here.
that-
So then
if
it would
that wall was brought over, it would cut right into the middle of a window or a door.
Yeah, that's what they have contractors for. Looking at hardship here too. I personally am not saying it. I can't speak for the other members. That seems awful close to me, and you got options. I understand about your kids and the dining room table turning, but we're about to look at hardships too when we're doing this.
And the idea also was for a window for cross ventilation.
And even those windows being on that side, is awful close to the neighbors.
When considering the design of the room, that side, the windows on that side are all.
Yeah, I saw they were
approximately
high.
6
I
feet
did see
up
that.
For privacy.
And the trees are, we're not taking any trees down. It's a whole, this is a whole tree line, so there's no one.
It is now. Yeah, yeah, things change. Anybody got something else to say besides me?
I mean, my only thought, and by the way, we all get what you're explaining, the utility, the traffic flow.
Yeah.
And we respect the fact that you and your contractor put a lot of time into these plans. But when I look at these, I wonder, we're at 20 by basically 17. Can we flip this around and have it go back 20 and 17 wide maybe? I mean, I'm not trying to reinvent what you're doing, but it might give you the same room size, but now you're just kind of, it's allowing you to redesign the furniture on the inside, still capture the same square footage, and you come straight down that wall. I mean, just food for thought. Again, we don't design people's houses, but it might be a viable solution.
Would he be any, if he did that, which I like that idea too, would there be any setback rules in the rear yard if he did that?
Doesn't appear so.
Doesn't appear so? Okay.
And there's like 72 feet,
Oh, okay.
so there's plenty of rear yard. I get what you're saying about your neighbor being.
Yeah, I
close and
guess.
all, But
Okay, so I can see where this is going. So I guess the only thing I would just plead is I guess I don't understand why both of my neighbors on either side of me have structures that are much closer to my property
can't.
than what I'm gonna do. So
And explain that.
I don't really it's just, I'm not gonna say.
You said
it's
the one's a
unfair. I
shed,
know what you're
right?
Doing, but I kind of don't get, I mean, my neighbors have a huge addition that they had to move their fence into our property. I mean, they actually cut a fence and moved it. I don't want them to change it. It's fine. We get along great. They have a 3-story huge addition. I guess to get rid of it, the variance, they had no windows on that side, but
I don't know
it
anything
goes
about that.
past their driveway. It's less than 6 feet from their property line. It's probably like 4 feet from their line. And my other neighbors on the other side, it's not part of their house, but it's a structure. There's footers and everything that they built this
What is it? A
little
cabana?
hobbit house next to my
Shed or-
property line. It's like
It's a shed, right?
it's more than a shed. Yeah, it's more than a shed. It looks like a little house because it has a deck and there's furniture on it that like when you walk out of the shed, it's not that tall.
Were you there when
It's
they
a
put that
permanent
up?
Structure. Sorry?
Was that there when you moved in?
All of it was there when I moved in. I know what I got into. I understand that, but
Mm.
it just seems weird that I'm sandwiched between that, but
I
then
understand that.
I can't.
can you pull up that aerial again?
Yeah, there's nonconformities all over our township.
There is.
Yeah, and there's people who don't even approach the board to do certain work and whatever. So, I just,
Oh, yeah, we know all about that.
yeah, I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just trying to, state that it, for the purpose of the room, and our house isn't that wide. It'll make our house look a little bit bigger, a little bit wider to do it. And our neighbor on that side is very far away. I mean, it's almost like they almost have a double lot and the lot's all the way on the other side.
He does. Yeah, he's way far away.
So between the trees and I'm not spending, you said for now, I have, unless lightning strikes 20 times, I'm not spending, half of a tuition year of college to knock trees down. The point of that room is that there's privacy. I want windows
Mhm.
because of privacy. So
Oh, no, we don't want any trees knocked down. No, we weren't.
No, I mean-
weren't inferring that.
that's,
And that's your
I
neighbor
think we're
there on the other
planting
side with the S-shaped house there? The one below?
the one that's,
The one that's at the
on my
bottom
other
of the
side?
screen?
Yeah. I mean, you can see where the line
Yeah,
is.
he's pretty close. Jesus, what a mess there. Jeez.
Yeah, right now you're seeing the 2021 aerial
Yeah.
photo. There's the 2020 aerial photo. It's kind of tough to see what's going on there. Doesn't really show up well in the aerial. And then there's the 2015 aerial. And so I'm not sure when whatever was built next door was built.
It's
Go
been a
back to
while.
2010. But it still almost doesn't show up in any of them.
Yeah.
It's really obscured by.
Yeah, it is. Would you mind? I mean, I really would like to hear from your neighbor. I don't know why he's not here, but I wish he was because it would be it would be nice to hear from him.
Our thought is we could continue this, and if your neighbor showed up for public comment and just affirmed that they're okay with it, we could probably get behind this. I mean, I don't think probably, right?
Yeah, I think we could
Yeah.
get behind it if we knew. I don't know if the letter got lost in the mail, but I know I'd be showing up if I got that letter and you were building something like that.
It's not ideal, but it's not going your way right now. I think you can tell that.
Obviously, yeah. Yeah.
This is basically throwing you a life raft. So
Okay.
Would you be interested in having a continuance and asking the neighbor to come in? And if he doesn't come in, well then,
but didn't
It's like a month, a week. I mean, can they write a letter?
What is it, 2 weeks?
Jim?
Is anybody on that one?
It's 2 weeks. It would be March 1st. And I think we have 3 other items on the agenda, so it's not terribly heavy. So we could have this one
weeks.
first.
Do you need them to speak or could they write a letter or that's not enough or just send it?
I guess we could have a notarized letter. Yeah, I guess we could.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not even sure about notarized letter. I just want to make sure that
They're in the know.
they're in the know.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I mean, I don't think if you say you don't talk to them, which I don't talk to my neighbors, so I understand that.
I mean, if
But-
you could have them call in, it's really easy. I mean,
they don't have to come.
No, I understand. You're okay with them.
I'm fine with it. I'm just uncomfortable at this. point.
Just-
It's close. It's real close and I recognize what you're saying.
I'm not saying no. I was just saying if they,
Well, you could always go for a vote tonight.
yeah, well, yeah. Good. So, okay. I mean, that's.
We continue it 2 weeks. That gives you plenty of time. to
Give
see.
him, knock on his
Assuming
door.
they're available or they say yes to even acknowledge.
They could just type up a letter if they can't be available or
We could put you first on the agenda so they're not sitting around watching other hearings. We could literally go right to them at 7:30 and bing, bang, boom, 7:35, you could be out of here.
So is there someone, okay, so I'll certainly talk to them. I mean, 'cause, so if they say, okay, is there someone that we just write to say, yes, they said they would agree to be, 7:30. I mean, I just want to make sure there's someone to confirm.
You can just take my word for it. You can take my word for it. I'll be there.
just bring the letter in or bring the person in.
Or send Jim, could we have him send an email to you?
We can do that.
The neighbor could even send an email to us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just want to make
Either
sure
to
that,
me or to Jamie Reamer.
okay, just to make sure that they're aware that this is like a real thing and I'm not trying to act, because I don't
Yeah,
talk to
no,
them much.
no, I agree. I think it's really the best thing to do.
Okay.
Okay. So in 2
And
weeks,
I'll have my answer. If they say no, then I'll know that
yeah,
they're not.
they go, oh my God, we didn't know.
Bring pizza with you.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it
Yeah.
going?
Well, my plan was to do this after I got the approval, was to be nice. I guess.
It is close, but we can have, be agreeable to some things. But we kind of really like to hear from them. Because, you may not live there all your life and they may not. And
Yeah.
It's
No, I mean,
already a
I
horrible
understand.
looking neighborhood as far as conformity. I can see it already. And that's most of the township. I have to agree. You're right. If you could do that, it would be fantastic for us.
Yeah, I understand.
All right.
6 feet, so it's close. So,
It is close. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's fair enough.
Okay. Somebody make a motion
Thank
for
you.
continuance for March 1st, I think you said, Jim?
Make a motion to continue Appeal 22-1949 to March 1st.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion? No discussion? I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor of the continuance, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. See
All right, well,
in
thank
2
you for that.
weeks.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Sorry about that. Oh, that's not. Hmm? Oh, I don't know.
That'll be a there'll be a couple of, that'll be a 2 or 3 session one.
Oh, yeah. All right, is there any other business? Being no other business, I'll ask for a move to adjourn. Thank you, sir.
I'm going to adjourn.
All right,
Second.
second, no discussion, all those in favor of adjourning, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it, meeting's adjourned, thank you very much, everybody.